Good evening. This is the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for March the 23rd, 2021. We're meeting in a little different method because of the limitations on public gatherings, and we have made accommodations to make sure the public is able to participate. Here's a number of ways you can do it. Franklin TV, City of Franklin website, Facebook account, and YouTube accounts. Or you even have a call-in number, 312-626-6799 with a meeting ID of 92177122739 with a passcode of 994470. Callers will be unmuted and given an opportunity to comment during the meeting at specific times. There's limited viewing of the lobby of City Hall. The public may email comments and questions prior to 3:30 p.m. on the day of the meeting to the recorder at franklintn.gov to be read aloud. Here's the important links you need. youtube.com/user/City of Franklin, or facebook.com/City of Franklin, or franklintn.gov/Franklin TV. We are called to order, and I'm going to call the roll. Alderman Barnhill.
Present.
Alderman Martin.
Present.
Alderman Schroer.
Present.
Alderman Speedy.
Present.
Alderman McClendon. Absent. Alderman Blanton. No response. Alderman Peterson.
Present.
And Vice Mayor Berger.
Present.
Thank you. We'll now go to invocation, which I'll ask Alderman Barnhill to offer, and then I'll lead the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'll join me.
Would everyone bow, please? Heavenly Father, again, we come to you in prayer. Thank you for this great nation that we live in, for all the many blessings that we have. We know that you are the provider of those blessings. We ask that you understand and we understand where they come from. We also ask blessings upon our national leaders. We know there's a great deal of turmoil in this world and in the country. We ask that you be with them, guide them as they make decisions, but also we ask that you be with our local first responders, our firemen, policemen, and especially our military as they are in foreign countries, protecting those freedoms that we so cherish. We ask that you be with them. Be with each of us as aldermen as we make decisions tonight that affect the city of Franklin. Give us spiritual wisdom and guidance. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now consider Resolution 2021-44, a resolution declaring that the Board of Mayor and Alderman members shall meet on March the 23rd, 2021 to conduct the essential business by electronic means rather than being contrived together. A quorum of the members physically present in the same location because it's necessary to protect the health, safety, welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Barnhill. Is there a second? Thank you, Alderman Martin. No discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote. Alderman Barnhill. Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton, could you be able to join us? Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
And Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Next, we'll go to item which says citizen comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to make comments for items not on the agenda. We're glad to welcome Lynn McAllister, who's the chairman of the Franklin's Downtown Neighborhood Association tonight, who wants to make a brief presentation for us. So, Lynn, welcome. And
thank you, Mayor. If I may share my screen.
I would just like to talk a little bit about the, whoops. There we go. Most years the DNA does a survey, and we did that this year. And so I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what we learned through that. It's only 5 questions, so it won't take long. And I'd like to thank Walton Green because he helped me compile these results. This was emailed out January of this year and to 371 of our downtown residents. And we had 163 respond, which is a 44% response rate, which I think is really good. And in the first question, we just asked what businesses that people would like to see come to downtown. And I made a notation in there that obviously the DNA is very limited in their capacity to do that, but I would share the information with all of you and with the DFA, as well as developers in the area. And I have sent the information to Mr. Granberry at HG Hill, because that is a particular development that comes up a lot in the comments that people made. So as you can see, a grocery store, a small grocery store was really one of the, well, actually it was the most requested new business to the area, followed by a New York style deli, a pub with outdoor seating, and a family-friendly restaurant. And then next was a mid-sized grocery. And I gave them as a reference point for a small grocery, the Turnip Truck, and for a mid-sized grocery, Sprouts, with that approximate square footage with all of those. After that, after the pharmacy, the numbers fell off significantly. And the items that people particularly were interested in seeing in the historic downtown area. There is, you'll notice that there were 30 folks who picked other, and that was mostly eateries as well, with Mexican restaurant being the number 1 choice, actually. The second question was about Envision Franklin. And we simply asked if generally people think that that is a loose concept document, or is it something that should be adhered to quite closely? And then the other option was, what is Envision Franklin? And in this case, that was actually the highest percentage. Almost 40% of the people are not familiar with Envision Franklin. So I know that's really frustrating for Kelly and her group there, but that is, that's kind of where we are right now with that. The question number 3 was in regards to what the priorities for the DNA should be. And this was this was 7 options, and they had to force rank them. And so the numbers that you see there represented from 5.23 to 2.99 are a weighted score depending on how many people picked something as their first choice or second choice. And as you can see, the first choice is straight out of the Envision Franklin document. It's one of the major objectives. So even if folks are not familiar with the terminology Envision Franklin, they're certainly familiar with what they perceive that Envision Franklin can do. And so they are very interested in maintaining the character of the town. That came up in a lot of special comments that people made about that. In a special below where they could just write individual comments. Secondly, managing traffic flow and reduce congestion. I'm not exactly sure what role the DNA can play on that, other than letting you know, and I know it's not information to any of you, that that is a concern among the downtown folks. And then also connectivity, which I know you all spend a lot of time talking about. Comments that came up more often as people would write additional comments next to these were that they felt unsafe crossing the city streets in different places. And there was recommendations for more signage or flashing lights, that kind of thing is what we saw in the comments that people made. Then there's the strict adherence to the historic guidelines and zoning. And then I think as people become more and more familiar with the information around the city hall, there'll be more interest in that. And then lastly, advocating for preferential residential parking. The fourth question was about Franklin Grove and how people generally felt about that. We have, as you can see, 35% generally support it, 41% at this point generally do not, and then about a quarter of the responses were that they would just like to have more information before they make a decision. The last question is probably not as significant for you guys, but it does give me an opportunity to tell you a little bit about what the DNA is doing right now, because we asked people based on the initiatives that we have right now, who would like to get involved in what. And if you haven't heard, let me just tell you that Bob Ravener is leading our new Tennessee Smart Yard. And that is in cooperation with University of Tennessee and a professor that is working with us there, and also the local extension office. And what's really neat about this, this is a program that is statewide, that we are literally the guinea pigs for using it on a community-wide basis. They have had the steps and the education behind this for individuals, but we're the first time that they have attempted to use it on a community-wide basis. So that's kind of exciting. And then Chuck Rose is leading for me the effort to work with the DFA, and we are giving goodie bags to people who are new homeowners in the historic area. And that is made up of different businesses in downtown who have contributed all kinds of things, from a coupon to small gifts, writing pens, that sort of thing. It just gives us an opportunity to highlight our downtown businesses and also make sure that we have a way of welcoming new people in town. And then the third one, Walter Green and Alan Sims are working on a Concerned Neighbors of Franklin Grove. That's not technically under the DNA, but they are gathering information and communicating. And we have done that on behalf of the Heritage Foundation to help residents understand more about what the Heritage Foundation is doing. And we've been happy to report back those results. And then lastly, there are 31 people who want to help me with the socials that we have. We are hoping that we'll be able to have at least 2 in-person socials this year. And of course, we'll let you all know about them. So that's in a nutshell, our little 5 questions and the responses that we got back. And I just want to thank y'all again for all that you do. I appreciate so much the work of the mayor and the aldermen and all the staff. Everybody is always so available for questions, and I just appreciate you. I know that most of you grabbed a quick bite in between your last 5 o'clock meeting, and I just can't tell you how much I appreciate all the work that you do for Franklin. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn, and thanks for the work of the DFA and DNA and all those, but your leadership in the DNA. So are there any other citizen comments we need to hear tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to any communications from the Williamson County Commission, and I have none. We will now go to the approval of the minutes from March the 9th work session and Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Those are not ready to be approved, so I'll need a motion to defer approval of those until April the 13th, 2021. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice
Second.
Mayor. Thank you, Alderman Barnhill, for the second. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
And Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Thank you. Passes unanimously. We'll now move on to the consent agenda. Brother, is there any recognitions or miscellaneous reports I need to recognize?
Mayor, if I could make a quick report from the transportation, or from the transportation committee, for our buses and stuff. We voted on last week to provide free bus service and TODD, Transportation on Demand service, to anyone going to get a COVID vaccination. And we had not a lot of discussion. Everybody was in favor of it. We also hopefully will get that information out. I think one of the biggest issues is a lot of the people that ride the bus may have difficulty also in finding where to get a COVID shot. And so I hope in time that we'll be able to provide some of that assistance as well. But that's kind of where we are. And I want people to know about it and to contact our transportation group to find out what they can do and where they can get a shot and how they're going to get there if they don't have a reliable vehicle.
And I might point out that Alderman Schroer represents the Board of Mayor and Alderman on the Franklin Transit Authority. The Franklin Transit Authority.
I'm so used to transportation, I can't get it out of my mouth.
We can't get it out of your system either, I don't believe.
Right.
So anyway, we appreciate that report and let everybody know that if they need a ride to get a COVID shot, that is available and it's free. So the next item is the consent agenda, and all items under the consent agenda are deemed to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body. They'll be approved as recommended by committee or staff by one motion of the governing body. Tonight, we're looking at numbers 14 through 18. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Schroer, and thank you, Alderman Peterson. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. We'll now go to item number 4. This is a public hearing, consideration of resolution 2020-295, a resolution adopting a plan of services for the annexation of 2208 Crossway Drive and 1190 Lewisburg Pike by the city of Franklin, Tennessee.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. The plan of services outlines how infrastructure will be provided to serve the two properties consisting of 52 acres. The subject property is non-contiguous to the city limits. There is an attached memo that addresses criteria that staff considers for non-contiguous annexation requests. The property is located within the city of Franklin water service area with an approximately 3,000-foot extension needed to serve the property. Because of this, reclaimed water will not be required to be extended to the property. The property does lie in both the SW4 and Goose Creek drainage basins. The owner of each property shall be required to extend the sanitary sewer mains and interceptors necessary to provide service to the property. No additional manpower or equipment will be necessary for either fire, police protection, or sanitation. Staff recommends approval of resolution 2020-295, and Planning Commission recommended favorably by a vote of 9-0. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Joey. Is there anyone that wants to speak to this body during the public hearing? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Alderman Martin.
Second.
Is there a second? Thank you, Alderman Speedy. Any discussion? Seeing none, ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
And Vice Mayor.
Yes. Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item 5, this is a public hearing, consideration resolution 2020-296, resolution to annex 1190 Lewisburg Pike and 2208 Crossway Drive, consisting of 52 acres, property located south of Bowman Road and west of Lewisburg Pike, and not adjoining the city limits within the southern part of the Franklin urban growth boundary. Joey, you gonna do this one?
I am. I'm going to do the next 3. So
Great.
the property consists of 52 acres and was designated as a short-term growth area in the 2018 growth study. The property lies within the single-family design concept as defined by the Envision Franklin Land Use Plan. It is the intention of the applicant to develop the property into single-family residential lots. A rezoning and development plan for the property are also included on the agenda this evening. Staff recommends approval, and the Planning Commission recommended favorably unanimously. Happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone want to speak to this body during the public hearing? Seeing none, we'll declare the public hearing closed. I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Barnhill.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Speedy. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill,
Yes.
Alderman Martin,
Yes.
Alderman Schroer,
Yes.
Alderman Speedy,
Yes.
Alderman Blanton,
Yes.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item 6, this is a public hearing, consideration of ordinance 2020-35, an ordinance to zone 52 acres, Plan PD .73 district, Hillside Crest Overlay District, and 500-foot hillside buffer for the property located south of Bowman Road, west of Lewisburg Pike, 1190 Lewisburg Pike, and 2208 Crossway Drive.
Thank you. The applicant is requesting to zone the property to Plan District or 0.73 to accommodate the density of 37 single-family lots on the 52 acres of the subject property. Envision Franklin places this parcel or these parcels into the single-family design concept. And while the proposed density meets the intent of the single-family design concept, staff cannot support the proposed zoning as designed with 37 single-family lots and only a single external outlet to Lewisburg Pike. City staff believes the proposed density is too high for the single connection community. So staff is recommending disapproval of the zoning or ordinance 2020-35. Planning Commission did recommend favorably by a vote of 7-1, and happy to answer any questions.
I have a question, Joey. Mayor,
Go ahead, Alderman Martin, absolutely.
that back entrance, is that an emergency entrance?
Yes, it is a emergency access only entrance. The Williamson County Highway Board denied a request by the applicant to make it a full connection. So it is a emergency access only with a gate.
But it is a way out.
It is a way out for emergency services, yes.
And Joey, isn't the parcel of land just north of this potentially going to be developed, and we are requiring a connection to that property? So that would be another exit out, I guess, to Lewisburg Avenue eventually?
They are showing a connection to that property immediately adjacent to the north. And I would have to let engineering speak, but I believe that parcel will not be able to connect to Lewisburg. They will have to use the access through the Tuckaway development due to distance between the two intersections.
And last question, that land to the south that we originally wanted them to put the connection to, if that was already developed in the county, what would our stance be on the connectivity to there? Would we still require a stub out, or if those were already developed into acre lots or 5 acre lots, how would we treat that just for future?
If there were established lots along that southern property line, then we would not require a stub out.
Okay, we got the horse a little bit ahead of the car, a little bit ahead of the horse here, because we still have the public meeting comments open. So are there any comments? If not, I'll close the public hearing, and I would entertain a motion on this.
Mayor, I
Motion to
make a motion
approve.
to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Barnhill. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Blanton. Now, any other questions or discussion? You ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill,
Yes.
Alderman Martin,
Yes.
Alderman Schroer,
Yes.
Alderman Speedy,
Yes.
Alderman Blanton,
Yes.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item 7, this is a public hearing. Consideration resolution 2020-297. Resolution approving a development plan for Tuckaway PUD subdivision with 1 modification development standards for external connectivity for the property located south of Bowman Road, west of Lewisburg Pike, located at 1190 Lewisburg Pike and 2208 Crossway Drive. Go ahead, Joey.
Thank you. The proposed Tuckaway PUD subdivision consists of 37 single-family lots on 52 acres. It is located in the single-family design concept of Envision Franklin, and the plan as proposed meets many of the recommendations of Envision Franklin. In regards to connectivity, both Envision Franklin and the zoning ordinance do encourage and also require external connectivity in all directions where possible. Section 9.5.1 of the zoning ordinance requires additional developments to provide street connections in every direction. As discussed in the previous item, the Highway County Board, or the County Board, County Highway Board, denied full access to the northwestern connection at Crossway Drive, allowing for an emergency access gate only. And the applicant is requesting to eliminate the southern connection through a modification of standards. So with 37 single-family lots with only 1 full connection to Lewisburg Pike, staff believes that the proposed density is too high for a single connection community. While the northern connection could be approved as a full connection in the future, that option is not guaranteed. For the modification of standards, the applicant is requesting to remove the external street stub to the southern boundary. Section 9.5.1B of the ordinance states that all connections should be provided in every direction, including connections to all existing streets or internal drives adjacent to development of to the development site. Due to the emergency access only gate to the northern connection, the elimination of the southern connection would leave 37 lots to be served by a single external connection point on Lewisburg Pike. Staff recommends disapproval of modification of standards number 1, and staff also recommends disapproval of the resolution or development plan overall. Now, the Planning Commission did recommend approval of the modification of standard to remove the southern connection by a vote of 7-1, and they voted to approve or recommend approval of the development plan by a vote of 6-2. And happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Mayor?
Let me see if the public wants to make a comment before I recognize Alderman Schroer. Is there any comments from the public? If not, I would entertain a motion, and then after I get an emotion, and if it's approved, then we'll consider the modification of standards in a vote, and then we'll vote on the entire ball of wax with the modification of standard. So is there a motion?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the applicant's request for the modification of standard.
I'd like I need a motion. I'll ask for the motion for the modification of standard after I have a motion on the resolution.
Then I'll make a motion on the resolution to approve the applicant to approve the resolution itself. I misunderstood. I thought you requested the modification of standards first.
And is there a second to that?
I second it.
Thank you, Alderman Martin. So we'll now go to the modification of development standard for external connectivity, and I would ask for a motion.
I move that,
Wait, point of order, Mr. Mayor, we've got a motion and a second on the table that needs to be addressed before we.
We can't move forward on the resolution until we vote on the modification of standard is the policy we've used.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay.
That's my understanding, and that's the way we've been doing it. So if they're shaking their head that I'm correct. So
We'll have two motions on the table.
we'll have three, I think.
One is an amendment, sir. That's how the modification to the standard is. It's an amendment to the main motion.
yeah, the modification standard is considered more like an amendment. So is there a motion on the modification of standard?
Yes.
And I think Alderman Martin made that motion.
Well, but I do want to add that I really do not make a habit of going against staff. But in this case, I do, because I think 37 homes is okay to have one entrance. We've got them all over this town and county. And that's my motion.
I'll second Margaret's motion.
And we're talking about the modification of standard, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Appropriate motion now. Alderman Schroer, would you like to make a comment?
Yeah. I was looking for the plan in my package and I never saw it. And maybe I don't know how to operate it correctly. But underneath the information provided, there's a map and a plan, but it doesn't show the plan of the development itself.
It was slow to load, John. It took me a while too.
I could never get it loaded. However, I had it from the planning commission, and also I had a copy of it. But I do agree, and I should have said something about it. I think last meeting, I did ask the staff to make them work, but this time I didn't.
Alderman Schroer, I can share my screen if you would like. I have it pulled up.
I hate voting on something I can't see.
Do you see that?
I do. Okay. Which is what I thought would look like. Okay. That's good enough.
But you can keep on going to. But you can keep on going to where it shows the lot boundaries.
So across the street from the entranceway, how many houses are serviced by that entranceway across from this proposed exit?
Can you answer that question, Joey?
You're referring to the county subdivision across the street?
Yeah. They're directly across from each other, just interested. I mean, this is, I think, an important discussion. That's a busy street.
The county subdivision across has a lot of really good connectivity, so it's a significant number of houses. And maybe what you're getting at is ultimately long term, we're going to have to look at where we choose to signalize and where we don't signalize. So having these roadways aligned like they are will be a benefit. And obviously, we're not going to be able to signalize every intersection along Lewisburg. But to answer your question, the subdivision across Lewisburg Pike has a tremendous amount of homes, and it's all very well connected through there. I don't know if that answers everything.
Isn't that Ellington Park?
No, it's red.
Is this Windsor?
St. George's Way.
Yes.
Windsor Park.
Windsor Park.
So did the county give a reason for their disapproval of the connection on the Castlewood Drive?
I'd have to defer to the applicant. I was not there at the meeting.
Mayor, I'm available. This is Greg Gamble. I'm available to speak to that.
Go ahead and address that, please, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, the county subdivision that's directly adjacent to this to the west does not have sidewalks within their neighborhood. The streets are not curb and gutter. And the discussion was that aligning a City of Franklin street, public street, with a county street, they're just two different service levels. They felt as though it was more appropriate to have a emergency connection as opposed to a full connection.
Mayor, if I may, as add to that.
Please do.
Thank you, and for Alderman Shore's edification. We've had a number of new subdivisions that we've approached the County Highway Commission early in the process to ensure that they would allow connectivity. Unfortunately, it usually ends up that in an emergency access.
So with emergency access is purely just for emergency vehicles, so.
Yes.
But if I could go back to say what the county has, if you drive out there and look at the subdivisions, the county subdivisions around there, those roads are you know, kind of like some that I've seen where the kids could be playing out in the street. Even.
Are you talking about Cross Creek, Miss Ann?
I don't know. Let's see. I think I looked more. Well, I looked at Castlewood, I believe, but I was looking at the one south. I remember specifically on them that that looked as if, as I say, the kids could even play out in the street. They were not built for through traffic.
Maybe I shouldn't ask this question. I'm going to. So Vernon, your staff recommended disapproval. What do you feel about it?
Well, I definitely recommend disapproval because when you look at this particular area, the foresight that the county had and the developers that developed those neighborhoods provided connectivity that's now not going to be used with this development. And I realize that it's not Mr. Cross's decision, it's the county's. And despite them having similar connectivity requirements, we're not achieving the desired result in connectivity, which helps with the number one quality of life concern in our community, which is traffic.
Mr. Mayor, could I say something?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Alderman.
I don't know about Crossland, but I know that the two subdivisions immediately south of this do not connect to each other, much less, you know, expect to be connected to a street that's, as has already been said, a city street rather than a county street. As I say, those two are not even connected to each other.
Are you ready to vote on the modification standard? If so, Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin. Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
No.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman McClendon, absent. Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Berger.
No.
Passes 5-2. We'll now go to the motion, the original motion with the modification standard included. You ready to vote on that, or you want to discuss it anymore? If not, we'll move on to a vote. Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
No.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
And Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes 6-1. Item 7, resolution approving a development plan. That was it. I'm sorry. Yes, that's what we just did. We're now to new business. City of Franklin contract 2020-345 Parkland Impact Fee Agreement with Cross Family LP for property known as Tuckaway PUD subdivision. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Barnhill.
Second.
Second by Alderman Speedy. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item 9 is Resolution 2029, a resolution declaring the city-owned property located at 403 and 405 Fifth Avenue North, known as the Hill property, surplus real property, abandoning such property, declaring a public purpose for the property, and establishing a public process by which a new owner will be selected. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Thank you, Alderman Blanton. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Schroer. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Next is item 10. Consideration resolution 2021-40, resolution authorizing the use of the competitive seal proposal procurement method for choosing the service providers for both emergency debris clearing and removal services, as well as monitoring of emergency debris clearing and removal services on behalf of both the city of Franklin, as well as the other incorporated local governments of Williamson County, including the Williamson County government itself. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Martin, for the second. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item 11, consideration to grant sanitary sewer availability for 1256 Lewisburg Pike. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Peterson. Is there a second by Alderman Barnhill? Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item 12 is appointment of Keith Gordon to the Sustainability Commission. Is there a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Alderman Barnhill. Second from anybody?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Martin. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 13, appointment of Fred Daniel to the Sustainability Commission for a partial term ending on October the 31st, 2021. Is there a motion? Thank you, Alderman Blanton. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Berger. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Martin.
Yes.
Alderman Schroer.
Yes.
Alderman Speedy.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton,
Yes.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill,
Yes.
Alderman Martin,
Yes.
Alderman Schroer,
Yes.
Alderman Speedy,
Yes.
Alderman Blanton,
Yes.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Berger.
Yes.
We are adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.